In today's video, live stream video, I'm going to discuss with my guest her reselling business, including how she sources at Goodwill outlets. She'll share her tips and strategies to help make us more successful and profitable resellers. Every Wednesday, I have a live stream. I usually interview another reseller and have them share their tips, tricks, and techniques to make us more knowledgeable and profitable resellers. If you're interested in reselling, then you are in the right place. Just going to pop in the chat and say hello to a few people. I appreciate you guys all being here early. So a couple of people that are in the chat. We had our guests, of course. We have Bobby, the Cap Guy, and JT. And for those of you that know Bobby and Andrew Resells, they have a show after my show, so I'll remind you about that. We also have the New England Betty Boop. Thank you for joining us. Cap Guy, as mentioned earlier. We have Ray with National Flippers. Shot 2001. Hello. Of course, my moderator, Randy. Lisa, I always appreciate you being here. Mike Flipping Goodies. And I guess several other people popped in. I guess that's about it for now, guys. Appreciate you all being here. Have a little technical difficulty, but we shall survive. I mean, that's, I'm always big about these quotes, but the old saying about live streaming is it's not a matter of, if something's going to go wrong, it's when something goes wrong. So nothing major, just a little glitch. So we'll get through it. And we're happy to have our guest on. Our guest today is Kristin, the Rural Squirrel. I was chatting with Kristin pre-show, and I love Kristin's energy. And I was thinking we had Ty the Flippin' Hustler on a couple of weeks ago. And, Ty's all about positive energy. For those of you that don't know my channel, go back and watch that video. Ty is a great guy and a great guest. So, again, we have somebody with great energy and positive and a successful reseller. So, really excited to bring her on. I'm going to have her introduce herself, and we shall get started.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it, and I just have had so much fun getting to meet you. So thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Like I tell my guests, I'd like to have you introduce yourself, tell people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how you got into reselling, and then we'll go on from there.
I'm Kristin. I'm a rural squirrel. I live in the Denver area, somewhere between Denver and Boulder. And we've been in Colorado for about almost 10 years. Grew up in the Midwest and have lived a couple different places since then. And I've been reselling. I've been on eBay since 1997. So that's 25 years this year. And off and on been doing reselling until about maybe 8 years ago. And then I just fell head over heels into it. And I've been doing it ever since. So that's me in a nutshell for the squirrel.
Okay. So you're a full-time reseller.
Yeah, but my full-time is not as much as some people's part-time. I mean, some people that are part-time are just absolute hustlers, and that's awesome. But I kind of like, do it for fun, but still do it for my job.
Yeah, Mike, your ears might have been ringing earlier. Mike Flipping Goodies, but Mike works a full-time job and he does this part-time. But I think he probably works more hours part-time in his reselling business than most people working their full-time job.
Probably,
so that's how much time he puts in. But I mean, that's what's nice about reselling. You can put in as little or as much time as you like. And again, a lot of times it's what you put into it. I'm a big fan of. I guess I repeat myself. I sound like a broken record sometimes, but again, if you don't list, you can't sell. So I tell people list on a consistent basis, and that and I know Tommy's in here. Thanks for joining us, Tommy. And I talk about the algorithm, and it probably sets Tommy off. But if you don't list, you can't sell. And again, you got to have good items, got to competitive prices, and like I said, but again, that's what's nice about reselling. If you're a single parent or whatever, you have children, or you can kind of work around their schedules and work around your schedule. So that's what's nice about reselling.
Very nice about that. And you don't have to be, you can be anywhere and do it. You don't have to, you aren't nailed down to a specific place, and you don't have to go to an office and do it. You can do it from home. I like all that. All that flexibility is good.
Right. And like I said, and it varies for everybody. So, like you said, you do what you can. Maybe I know some people work like in the middle of the night, and some people get up really early. Maybe Johnny will pop in the chat, but Johnny Kedger, reseller, he's up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and he gets most of his reselling work done between like 4:30 and like 8 o'clock. And then he does his shows, and then he does a little bit in the afternoon. And some of us older folks, maybe you might do it early in the morning, then they take a nap and they do something in the afternoon.
Right.
So that's what's nice about reselling. You're not physically tied to a specific location or a desk or whatever at certain hours. You can do it as you see fit.
Yeah, and your TPS report doesn't have to be in by noon and stuff like that. I love all this thing, all those
Exactly.
good things. I know Nashville Flippers, they're in there. I know they've got full-time jobs and still make it look simple and easy because they just kill it.
Right. Jeffrey, appreciate you hopping in. I'm always looking for new subscribers. And like I said, I try to bring, intelligent and knowledgeable and passionate resellers on my chat. And like Kristin. And like I said, I've been doing this channel for over 3 years now. And some of you, like I said, I apologize. Sometimes I sound like a broken record guy, but some of the newer people, I wanted to know what the channel is about. I come from a family of school teachers. My mother was a school teacher. My dad was a school teacher. My sister's a school teacher. Good. And that's kind of like how I was raised. So I want to kind of give back. I learned about reselling from other resellers. So I want to bring them onto my channel and then have them educate the other resellers as well as myself. So it's kind of what this channel is about. And I love the community. I love how you guys are chatting back and forth in the chat and sharing ideas. And that's what I'm here for. I'm trying to put you guys together with other resellers and then bring you knowledgeable resellers and help you grow your business. So in a nutshell, that's what the channel's about.
Yep, you do a good job.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, let's get a little bit into the like I said, meat and potatoes. Rachel's not here, so I can talk about meat and
the nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty, right?
Yeah.
Going to ask you a little bit. I guess the basic question that Ray's asked you on his channel, but some people I mentioned, I was going to have you on a channel, and they said I never heard of a rural squirrel. So basically, what is a rural squirrel, Kristin?
Well, you mean how did I get my name, or how did I get started?
No, what about your name? And then we'll get into how you got started. We'll start out with your name.
Well, I just think that it's fun to say a rural squirrel. And that kind of is what started it, was that it was just fun. But I like it that it is a little ambiguous. You don't necessarily know if it's a boy or a girl. You don't know if I'm a hair salon or if I'm a, boutique of some kind.
You should barbecue on Ray's channel.
Yeah, it could be anything. You don't know. Yeah. And I like it that, I could be anywhere too. I don't have to be, just in Denver or just in a specific place, because we do travel a lot and I pick in a lot of different places. So I do like it that I can be mobile and, anywhere. You never know where I'm going to be. Right. So
we're going to discuss that. That's part of we're going to talk about how you have plans to do that basically full time, and you're doing it now. And you've actually been we're going to talk about Goodwill outlets, but you've actually been to 17 Goodwill outlets.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, just last year. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to more, but I only documented 17. So,
well, that's more than anyone I've noticed been to. I've been to one. Like 10 minutes from my home.
Well, I haven't been to that one, so you're ahead of me.
There you go. Well, my guest last week, Big Thrift Philly, he's been to the one I've been to, but again, he's local, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about how you got involved in reselling.
So we didn't really call it reselling back when I started, 25 years ago. It was you were an antiquer. You bought and sold. Usually it was older things, and a lot of people that do the vintage, it's the same thing. But I would have yard sales out at the house, and we lived way out in the country, and my kids were little. So sometimes I would have things that were really nice that wouldn't sell at the yard sale for what I thought they should sell for. And I put up my first item. It was a Longaberger basket, because 25 years ago, they were worth a lot of money, and I got really good money for it. So I just started putting things on there infrequently, different things. But then, we would move lots of different places, and it was hard to have the kind of job that, you have a career in. So I would just do more and more of this, and it just sort of evolved into now I do this all the time.
Just as a side note, it's funny you brought out Longaberger baskets, but I have like one or two here. My sister was really into that for a while.
Yeah,
they're not really that valuable anymore today.
Some of them, most of them aren't worth what you probably originally paid for.
Oh my God, I know how pricey they were. And when she was doing it, it's like, oh my God, you're spending. I would never say it to my sister. I know better. It's like, you're spending all that money on these baskets, and she's collecting them, and she's not selling them. She's collecting them, and she's got, it's like, what are you gonna do with all these things?
I know, and I had quite a few of them, so it was fun to sell some of them, and some of them are still worth some money. And I have a stack of pottery here that I'm gonna get listed too. That's it still sells. It just doesn't sell for what it used to.
Just as a side note, I mean, I don't really know that much about Logarithm base. I just, I sometimes go on tangents or whatever. But how do you identify Logarithm? I mean, I guess you can use Google Lens, but is there a way, like, there's some kind of ID code or some kind of stamp, or how do you identify it?
No, there's not really a stamp. If there's a year on the bottom of it, you can kind of narrow it down that way.
Gotcha.
But if it's just part of the regular catalog, they have books that kind of tell you what measurements and sizes
collector
are.
books, you can kind of look them up that way.
Yeah, there's collector books, just like you would if it was Fenton or other different collectibles. They have them for that too.
I was just curious. I hadn't heard that in forever and ever. And like I said, I mean, I only have a couple of them. Like I said, and it's like, I'm thinking to myself, again, we're going to get into, guys, we're going to get a little bit later about the Goodwill outlets. But again, what we're looking for, like bolos. I thought, okay, Logarithm base. I haven't really heard anybody talk about that before. Are they still valuable or not? So you're saying a few are, but they're not really valuable like they used to be.
I still pick them up because I like them. And
when you get them at the bins, I guess you get them really inexpensive too.
They're super
how much
cheap,
is the basket when you get at the bins?
Yeah, might as well pick them up. And I use them. If they aren't any like valuable one, then I just it's a nice junk collecting station for me.
There you go. Well, I got to do something bigger than I use
just a basket
right here.
Really big basket.
By the way, guys, for those of you who watch the show, I finally did get my eBay supplies. I wasn't in a hurry to get them, but Randy and I talk about all the time about the different shipping services and how USPS is kind of priced themselves out of the business. I mean, not really, but I mean, they're raising their prices and they're inconsistent. So I finally did get my shipment from FedEx. They said it would be here on Friday and looked at here on Tuesday, but I wasn't in a hurry. So it is what it is what I like to say.
Hey, Amanda, I want to say hi because I know that she's getting ready she's in the UK and it looks like she's maybe getting ready to check out here in a little bit. But I was on her show on Sunday and she's amazing out in the UK.
Who was that? I was
Organizer Reseller. Her name's Amanda.
Okay, no, I'm not.
She's super cool. She does a lot of like vintage toys and stuff. But we had a challenge last week. You guys know I love a challenge.
Absolutely. Randy says first class is going up again. Randy would know. Randy's connected with all like the regional directors and all that. So unbelievable. Hello, Tracy. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate being here. Oh, there she is. The organizer reseller. Hi, Chris. It's after midnight, but I am here to support you. Very nice. Thanks for being here. Chris is really lovely, positive person. I love having her on my channel. There you go.
Aw, thank you.
Hey, Glenn. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Okay. Let's see here. What we're going to talk about. What e-commerce platforms are you currently selling on?
I have a Poshmark. I'm hardly ever on it. And eBay. I've been on eBay so long. It's so hard to do anything else. You don't want to
15 years you've been on eBay?
25.
25 years.
Yeah. Long time, right?
Back when they were doing like checks and money orders and that type of thing, or?
Oh yeah, really. My first sale, they sold. I had to wait for her to send me a money order so that I could send it back out. I didn't even put a picture in because pictures cost extra money, and nobody really put pictures on.
Right.
So, and I listed it on Dial-Up.
Okay. Well, Dial-Up. Okay.
Yeah. Talk about old school.
Like, you got mail.
Yep. That is old school for sure. Hello, Tommy. That's so cool.
Speaking of Tommy, he sent 15 to 17 packages at UPS today. So
wow,
guys, again, super talented resellers, experienced resellers like Tommy and Randy in the chat and Mike in the chat. So that's why I'm here. Try to learn from them too, guys. So USPS is kind of pricing stuff out of the market. Look for alternatives, ways to ship things. I mean, we all knew back in the day, USPS wasn't great for larger packages. So now we're even looking at it for smaller packages. So do your research. I mean, and then, like I said, 15 out of 17 that Tommy shipped out today was not USPS, it was UPS.
Wow. Do you guys use Pirate Ship? Do you use Pirate Ship? Does Tommy?
I use Pirate Ship sometimes, and it's funny, and I don't really get it. I forget what my category is because I tell people I have a lot of health issues. So unfortunately, I'm not listing as much as I should. And I tell you guys too, sometimes my own worst enemy, when you don't list, you don't sell. So I'm not a high volume seller. So I'm above standard, but I'm not top rated or top rated plus. Now, once I start feeling better, I would definitely be top rated. I'm not going to offer free returns. I'm not going to offer all the extra stuff that they want top rated plus, but I could be top rated relatively easily if I just get back into the groove again. So I compare both, and it's funny. Back at like last year, everything was pretty much better on Pirate Ship. And I
Okay.
tell you guys, it's just just a tip. I mean, you don't have to do what you know, but I have PayPal tied to my pirate ship,
Okay.
and I have a money back credit card. And I was gonna say a rewards credit card. It's not a rewards credit card, but you can use a rewards credit card too. But I have a % back credit card tied to
Mhm.
my pirate ship. So
Ah,
basically, I get 1.5% back when everything that I send through PayPal. So I compare them both. And recently, eBay has been better.
oh,
I'm kind of surprised because we
yeah,
all
me
know that
too.
eBay makes money on the shipping. They make money on the promoted listings. But for some reason, eBay has actually been less for me to ship through eBay than it was to ship through Pirate Ship, even with my 1.5% back. So
Huh, that's good to
I
know.
usually compare it. So you live and learn. I mean, I'm not, like I said, unfortunately, I'm not doing a lot of volume. So what does it take me? 2 minutes to compare Pirate Ship to USPS or to
Yeah,
UPS or whatever.
I don't have pirate ship, and I've looked at it a couple different times. My dad is a reseller too, and he ships like a lot of bigger things. So he's used pirate ship a couple different times. My aunt, she does, a family of resellers. So we're always talking about different options available to us. But
Yeah, Mike, I'm definitely going to look into UPS. Like I have those couple putters I have to get listed, and I'm going to order those two. You said I can order those two from USPS, but I guess I got to ship them through USPS. So I guess, and I don't really use Uline because I'm not buying it off, and I can't do a local pickup. So in fact, I'll probably reach out to Mike and some other resellers to find out like shipping tubes
yeah,
to ship that, because like I said, I know Uline has it, but like I said, I'm not going to pay extra to have it delivered on small amount of product. So,
right.
but
Yeah.
so anyway. I know I used the Boxery. I think Tommy, you used the Boxery as well. I actually met them when I was at eBay Open. It's another packaging company that ships your supplies, but the Boxery works out well. So I mean, I'll probably check them for those tubes.
So Tracy, it was my grandma's, the necklace. I didn't want to have a naked girl there, so I put something on her.
Okay.
Yeah. She looks good though, my coworker.
Oh, okay, Randy. I know Randy was trying to get local pickup at Uline. Now he says they don't even allow it at all. I thought maybe that was a temporary thing for the the pandemic, but apparently they're not offering local pickup at all anymore. Okay.
I didn't know that either.
All right. There's a tip. I guess I'm not going to bother about trying to find out about local pickup at Uline.
Right.
Okay. All right. So you're basically on eBay now. You've been doing it for 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Long time.
And I know your business model. You basically sell one-offs, right? And we had
Yeah.
discussed pre-chat. You
Usually.
don't really have. I mean, you enjoy collecting certain things, but you don't have anything that really you concentrate on. I guess whatever you can find
I think
thrifting or yard sales or at the Goodwill outlet, the bins.
yeah, since I do most of my sourcing at the bins, you never know what you're going to find, so you don't ever know what you're going to list.
Mm-hmm.
So you have things, I think everybody has things that they just have some knowledge in, and that's what they tend to sell the most of. So like some guys are super into hats and super into sneakers or Funko Pops, but
Right.
if I see something that looks good, then I pick it up. And I do a lot of clothes only because I mean, there is an overabundance of clothes and they're so easy to ship. Usually just slide it into a first class envelope
Yes,
and
right.
send it out. So they're easiest. I prefer to do shoes most of the time, but I do like hard goods and houseware type stuff. It's easy to take pictures of those usually. So sometimes it's just harder to ship.
Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to kind of get into hard goods a little bit more because I'm not a big clothing person.
Yeah.
Like you said, when I first got involved in the business, I mean, everybody was promoting selling jeans, and now I've probably pulled 75 pair of jeans off my platform because they just don't sell. I mean, they're mall brands and they're straight legged, and that's not what sells now. So it's like I got all that. So I'm like, we'll get into a little bit later, but some of the things that you do for charity. But I mean, I think I'm going to probably donate it to a homeless shelter or something and see maybe because I can redonate to Goodwill. To me, it doesn't really make sense. I'd rather give it to a homeless shelter or something, and maybe they can use it. If they want to donate, that's fine too. But it'll make me feel a little bit better instead of just redonating to Goodwill.
Yeah,
Giving to something like that.
Maybe you could do like reseller bundles. I mean, there's a lot of people that are into jeans. Maybe.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. Do you do any kind of like retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, or you just pretty much stick to the bins?
No, I usually stick to the bins. I have done retail arbitrage like some, but not a lot. Usually it's if I'm waiting for the dentist and there's a Ross down the street, then I'll pop in there and see if they have any Doc Martens or something. But normally I pretty much do the bins. It's so hard to beat the cost of goods at the bins. So
Absolutely.
that's why I pretty much stick to there. And I like the hunt. I like it that when you go there, you don't know what you're going to find and who would throw this stuff out. And, you know, the awe of some of the things that you can pull out of those bins, out of those buckets.
Absolutely.
Fun.
Just going to touch on your eBay business a little bit, and then we'll get into the bins, and we'll talk about the Goodwill outlets and basically what your strategy is and what you're looking for, and maybe you can give us a few bolos. But I just like asking people, again, especially if they concentrate on eBay, and again, I'm 99% on eBay as well.
Yeah.
Just ask questions about how people run their eBay stores. So just curious, are you running sales? Your thoughts on best offers, promotions, free shipping?
I don't do free shipping. I don't know why I have a thing with free shipping. I know that there's probably a lot of people that search for things that are only free shipping, but I just don't. I don't know why. Shipping is what it is. I can't help it. You pay for it, or I do, one of us. So I just leave it on there, and I just don't run a lot of sales, but I do the promotions.
Okay, you do promoted listings. What's your philosophy of promoted listings? How do you set your rate?
How do I say that again?
How do you determine the rate that you're going to promote your listings at?
Oh, I do it at like 1 or 2%.
Okay.
I don't.
So basically, you're just doing to have promoted listings, but you don't. Some people like Tommy has the basic rate. The plus like 3.5-4%.
Yeah, whatever the suggested
trending rate plus 3.5-4%. Some people just do 1 or 2% just to have, and some people do the recommended rate. So I'm just curious what other resellers do.
Yeah, I like it. I just put it at 1. I don't put it on. I don't promote it until after it's been on for a minute. I'm a list it and leave it kind of girl. So every once in a while I'll go through it, and I don't have like once a quarter or at a certain time. I just, on a whim, I'll be like, hey, let's knock some of these prices down and promote it.
Right.
I hate free shipping. I don't hate it. Yeah.
And again, I don't know. That's why I like bringing other resellers on. I don't claim to have the answers to everything, guys. I'm just a somewhat intelligent guy that does reselling and try to learn from other resellers and YouTube videos and other resellers. But and again, and I apologize if I sound like a broken record again, but there's no such thing as free shipping. We all know that.
Yeah,
exactly. Free shipping, you're building into your cost of goods, your cost of sales.
So if I put something on at free shipping, just to experiment and see if it's going to do better, if I put it on with free shipping, inevitably somebody will say, it's a $20 item or $30 item, and they'll offer me half, and I'll be like, oh, whatever. Okay, click, accept. And then I'm like, I had free shipping on that one. So
when I have free shipping, believe me, I know. And then I'll actually, I know I probably shouldn't do this, but I think I swear sometimes it's other resellers. So they'll offer you have something for like $25 with free shipping, and it's something that costs me like $9, $10, $11 to ship, and they offer you like $12. It's like,
I know,
I spent $11 on shipping. I can't sell it to you for $12.
I know. I had one of those Billy Big Mouth Bass things.
Oh yeah, they sell well.
They sell well, and I put it on for like $14.99 or something, super cheap.
Right.
Because I didn't know for sure if it worked exactly. I had it, and it did the thing, but it didn't do all the thing, and I didn't know enough about it to be like. So I just listed it at $14.99. Somebody offered me $12.99. I was like, that's close. Click. I'll take it.
And you had free shipping on it?
Mm-hmm, because I sell similar. Somebody else had theirs for free shipping.
That's a pro tip. Be careful about that.
Yeah. Wasn't paying attention. And this was just, not even 6 months ago. It was probably 3 months ago when I did that. But
live and learn. We all make mistakes, and I tell people, go back and double check things. Sometimes you're listening to things in the middle of the night or early morning. I'm terrible early morning because I have allergies and I have like brain fog. I'm up at like, and like I told you, there's some typos sometimes in my things. I'm doing it in the early morning or late at night. It's like, how did I miss that? It's like,
right.
So you can do the same thing in your listings. Got to be real, especially when you're selling similar. That's a great tip, Kristin. When you're selling similar,
you got to pay attention.
You got to be careful. You got to double check before you approve it and go back and double check it.
Yeah.
So
Go through all
Absolutely.
the little, item specifics, because I don't know how many times that I would do sell similar on a pair of shoes that were exactly the same, except they were a size 6 instead of a size 8. And
Right.
I'd forget to change it in one of the places. And it says it's a size 8, but then it says size 6. Which is it? I know, my fault. Sorry. Let me fix it.
Yeah.
Just, you got to pay attention, even if you're going to sell similar.
So take that in mind, guys. If you're selling something, be extra careful.
Extra careful.
And then people don't read descriptions, and I'll put, like, when I was selling women's jeans, I'll put like, the size, and then I'll put like actual, and then the measurement, and then I have it in the description. I have like a template. I have that set up so I can, it makes it a little quicker to list. And I'll put in like the actual sizes, what the waist size is, what the rise size is, what the length is, what the leg opening is. But they don't read that.
No.
I
put them in the pictures. Like, I have a yardstick that I just lay down across the top of the shirt and the length of the shirt. And I bet twice a week I get, can you give me the measurements? And I want to be
picture number 3. It's right in the picture.
I know. Sometimes I want to be snarky and be like, no, I don't want to give you the measurements because I've already given you the measurements. So pay attention. But
right.
I don't. I answer them and, try to have good customer service and stuff.
There's another saying, go by under promise and over deliver. So, I mean, if you're listing something as like good condition and you ship it out and it's in very good condition, somebody goes, wow, they said it was a good condition. This is really excellent. This is a great seller.
Yeah.
You can go the other way too, but I mean, you just try to be careful.
Yeah, for sure.
But you live and learn. So, okay, let's get a little bit into the bins. For those of you that are mostly knowledgeable resellers, experienced resellers, I should say, in the chat, we know that the Goodwill outlets is affectionately called the bins.
Bins,
and we know why they're called the bins, because typically they have those big blue bins that they roll out into the Goodwill outlet, and then it's like a feeding frenzy. So I know that every bin is different, and I want to get into that a little bit with you, because you actually said you were at 17 bins just last year alone.
Yeah. When we're out traveling, if there's one close by or on the way through to where we're going, then if I can get Mr. Squirrel to take me, then I definitely hit him. Yeah.
So why don't you tell us, and everybody has different philosophies about the bins. And like you said, I guess you're sourcing clothing mainly, but you're kind of picking up anything because the cost of clothing is so inexpensive.
Yeah, cost of everything is so inexpensive.
Right, and you're shipping it first class. You just throw it in a bag and ship it out first class. And obviously, if you're shipping, hard goods, you got to wrap in a bubble wrap and maybe box it and whatnot.
Yeah.
And again, typically it weighs more. But why don't you give us an idea, like your philosophy with the bins? Do you have any kind of strategies? Do you go in and and again, you're going to new bins, a lot of new bins.
Yeah.
I mean, every bin is like, I think, well, you would know obviously more than I would, because I've only been in the one bin. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the bins? If you don't mind, I'm going to put you on full screen while you're talking a little bit about the bins here.
Oh my gosh, I'm going big.
Do you mind, or it's okay?
No, it's fine.
I usually ask people. I forgot to ask you if that's all right.
No, it's
just
great.
For a second. I'm going to have a sip of water.
I want more camera time.
we get to enjoy your beautiful mannequin.
Yeah, she looks good, doesn't she? So I guess when I go to the bins, and Jimmy, old school flips, he was in there. He can attest that there's different rules every time that it seems like you go to the bins. They kind of tweak their processes a little bit. So it is probably good to go in and get like a lay of the land a little bit whenever you're going to a different bins location, but they're all pretty much the same. Everybody's wheeling in these big blue buckets full of stuff, and we have to go and find the items in the bin, and most places have things separated, and my strategy is to hit the shoes first, and they can sometimes get a little bit crazy, so I stay back a little bit. I don't want to elbow people, and I don't want to like cause problems. I just want to get my stuff and get out. And then I like to dig through the clothes and have fun and meet people and be respectful. And there is so much stuff out there. There is enough for all of us, enough for everybody, and everybody can win whenever you get there. So I just like to check everything out and find out how their processes work, because each one is different, and have fun with it.
They all have different per pound prices as well, right?
Oh yeah. Some places when you go, it is like the more you buy, the more pounds you buy, the cheaper it gets. Omaha was that way. Kansas City was that way. Salt Lake City was that way. And then other places like Denver, it's $1.59 a pound. And then linen is different, and glass is different, and books are different. And in Florida, the shoes are different. And it's funny to me how it's slightly inconsistent all over the country. So, everybody does things just a little bit differently, no matter where you're at. Some places like get really weird if you want to film anything in there, and other places are
people say that. It's like my Goodwill is like, no filming. And I had other people like Ray and others that go through, and then Dan Big Thrift Philly, he goes through film. It's like, they don't let me film anywhere. And it's like, no.
I have filmed everywhere I've been, but I was in Phoenix not so long ago, and I'll have a video come out about it in a couple of weeks that the security guard came over and was like, yeah, you can't film in here. We're going to have to ask you to stop. And I was like, okay.
Sometimes they'll actually threaten to throw you out if you're filming. I mean, some of these locations.
Some places do. Kansas City didn't like it.
Actually trespass you. Yeah.
Yeah. But everywhere is different.
Everywhere's different.
And sometimes it's not that it's not the Goodwill. It's the people that are in the Goodwill.
Right. They feel uncomfortable. Right.
Yeah, you're going to give away our secrets, and this is our honey hole. And if you tell everybody, then it's going to get real busy. And guys, look around. There is so much stuff. It's wasteful. There's so much stuff. Just, you get yours and I'll get mine, and he's going to get his, and it's going to work out.
I know everybody has different philosophies, and it seems like I got to give my weekly shout out to Beth Reseller Rowboat. If you're not subscribed to Beth, check out her channel. But Beth used to shop a lot at the bins, but she has some health issues as well. So it's difficult for her to shop at the bins. So her cost acquisition was really low, and she's kind of like into like the volume. Like she'll buy 99% clothing now, and then she flips it. Like I said, it's easy to ship. She's got a process down where she lists things quickly. But so she doesn't really go to the bins anymore. But you said you do well with shoes. That's one of the things I bring up when I call them the shoe mafia. Like when I go to our bins, there's like a group of like 8-10 people, and they just swarm the bins for shoes, and they're grabbing stuff. They're knocking people out of the way. I guess it's different at every bins, but
no,
that's how it is at my
shoes
bin.
in every location is they're like, it's piranhas.
Right.
Definitely.
Exactly. Yeah.
But there's also like good money to be made there. So I understand why people swarm them. Most of the time people are looking for sneakers, and I don't always pick up sneakers. So it's okay for me. I don't feel like I have to get in there right at the very beginning unless you see something really great on top. But I don't mind being into a new rotation, because I guess I've been around it enough now.
You'll kind of like get into the nitty gritty. You'll kind of like,
I don't mind.
You kind of like sit back and
people, but I can understand why, like, if it's your first time at the bins, where it would be really overwhelming and
kind of intimidating.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to get into the middle of it, and it feels like it does kind of feel like you're in a war zone for a second, But I think it's fun because you don't know what you're going to find, and
it's the old saying to throw the hunt. I mean, that's part of the problem with a lot of resellers, right? They're hoarders and they're collectors, and they love to throw the hunt, but no one. I mean, I should say no one. 90% of us don't like the list, so we love sourcing and the throw of the hunt, but if you don't list it, you can't sell it.
But we do like the sound of that cha-ching. So
that's cha-ching, right? Absolutely.
That's incentive to get it listed for me anyway. Right. I just, if I could
Randy's talking about the Goodwill said they're split into 200 separate groups, and they each have the different rules.
Yeah. Okay. They each have their different rules for books, for shoes, for glassware. Some places,
some places they'll sell like separately, separate prices. I know, like some of the Goodwills, they have separate price for electronics. They don't put them in the bins, and and books. I guess books and DVDs, and sometimes like set prices opposed to weight.
And then some places it doesn't matter. It just all goes into the same bucket, and you just pay for all of it the same way. Some places. Not very many. Most of them are books are one, shoes are a price, linen is a price, glass weight's a price. But my top 3 favorite bin locations. Ooh, right. That's a good question, Tracy.
That's a good question.
I would say, well, my home bins are probably some of my favorite. We don't want that out the secret. But okay, you like the local bins? I do like them
when
because
you traveled.
A lot of them that I've been to, I mean, don't always have like super great stuff, but it's still fun. but I find nice things there a lot. Olympia, Washington, I was there several years ago. It was really great too. And then I liked the Reno bins. They were nice.
Reno bins. Okay.
A lot of really good stuff. And the Reno bins are kind of a sleeper. Not everybody knows that one's there. They know about the Vegas bins, but Reno's pretty good.
Yeah, I've never that's I won't say it's on my bucket list, but that is someplace I like to go to Reno because it's just kind of like old school. And I mean, you can go to downtown Vegas, but I mean, I would like to go to Reno one time.
Yeah, it's beautiful there too. So.
Tommy says his basement is his best bin location. All right,
I have to agree. My death pile is probably, or my money pile, sorry, is probably my favorite right now.
But I guess, like, you know, again, that's kind of why I like have people share where they're from, because everyone has sort of different sourcing opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, like I talk about the ATL flipper, and he finds all those sneakers. I always tell people, and I think I told you in whatever pre-chats, I don't find any kind of athletic shoes. And I find them, it's like, I would have thrown out 90% of the stuff that they have on reselling for $15, $20 on the shelf. And not just Goodwill, other thrift stores as well. It's like,
yeah,
I wouldn't even, I've thrown these out before I'd even donate, and they got them for sale. So
I just picked up a pair that I'm going to throw out
Northwest,
too.
I guess you get more like athletic and some of those brands like Nike and those kind of things. Because I mean, there's employees that work in that area that you have a lot of their product. And
yeah, and I'm lucky. There's 4 bins locations within driving distance to me. So I have some great thrift stores that are close by. I'm an influencer for ARC thrift store, which is just in Colorado, and they have fabulous things.
Okay.
And I go to those a lot of times too, but I'm at the bins just so much more because it's just so much easier. You can fill a cart for $50 and just have stuff to list for weeks. So
right. So when you go in, like I said, you're looking for shoes, you're looking for clothing. I mean, you're pretty much looking for anything. But
yeah,
do you have any kind of like strategy? Like you said, you'll mix it up. You said with the other resellers, right, or other collectors.
Yeah. Well, I like to look at the shoes. I like to look at the wares. And then the clothes are just, you could just continue to go through the clothes for days. There's just so much there you can go through to all the way to the end of the bucket and still find stuff. So
the more opportunities you think with clothing, because like people kind of, like you said, they're looking for the shoes, or looking for the whatever, the Funko Pops or the toys, or they're looking for certain things. You can kind of get in there and kind of look through the clothing. Is there opportunities there?
There is at the bins that I go to. Some bins, you know, you have to dig a little harder, but right. And if you are looking for things that, I mean, I know that there's a lot of people that have a minimum item threshold, like they're right. only going to sell things in $30
minimum ASP, right? They want to make a certain profit, or
yeah. So I mean, in that case, clothes maybe aren't necessarily the best place to go. But when you're in an area where there's a lot of ski jackets and stuff,
exactly, like, so you're in there again, and again, like, you know, Mike is in Florida, so he gets a lot of opportunity with golf equipment.
Yeah, or I would think that you could like scuba suits and stuff like that.
Scuba gear, exactly, right?
You would look for whatever you have in your area. So I do the clothes. They were easy for me till I knew them and I understood the fabrics and stuff like that. So it was easy for me to do the clothes, and it's so much easier to ship them. So that's why it seems like I have a lot of clothes, but I also ship out a lot of clothes too. So
right. Craig's that's kind of was hitting at Craig. I mean, sometimes it seems like clothing kind of gets, you know, not really, people don't grab it immediately. So if you kind of dig through there, you can find some things. So he says he loves going to the bins. I know there are other resellers there. He loves coming behind after them, and they search in the bin, and he still finds gold.
Yeah, same. But I also think that there's a lot of resellers that are looking for single stitch t-shirts, or they only pick up, you know, little sundresses or whatever. Maybe they only want golf shirts or jerseys or whatever it is that they're looking for, and I'll look for anything. So
any kind of like unusual, I say unusual, but kind of brands that you found, like I guess on a semi-regular basis. Again, you've been to a lot of different bins.
Yeah.
Any brands you find, I mean, I guess some clothing or even any kind of toys or something. I mean, I guess I know there's a lot of toy collectors. It seems like every bin there's toy collectors and video game collectors and shoe collectors.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like having opportunity with clothing, but any certain brands you find on a regular basis that you feel are kind of valuable and relatively profitable?
Well, when I go and I'll spend the day there, if I'm at my regular home bins, once I have found a piece of Patagonia and a Lululemon, that I know it's time to go home, that I have found
Okay,
all the things, because I can find it
sure.
here pretty easily. But I know that, like, if I were in St. Louis or Indianapolis, we didn't see it that often. So it would be treasure to find it there.
I've
So,
never seen either of those in the wild.
yeah.
Not just the bins, any thrift store.
Oh, really? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
But
lucky.
you may know, you might like spot them just out of the corner of your eye and say, oh, that's Lululemon. I would
Yeah.
have to go through and look at it and look at the
Look it up.
label and
Yeah. I was standing there talking with Jimmy Old School Flips the other day, and we were
Mhm.
talking, and we were getting ready to do a challenge. And he said something, and I was like, "Whoop, sorry, excuse me, just a second." I went over and pulled up Patagonia. And
You got to
he's
do
like,
what you got to do.
"Yeah,
No time like the present.
yeah." So, I mean, we're lucky. We do have a lot of outdoor gear and equipment and stuff like that here. So I do pick up that a lot. I've found climbing shoes and harnesses that
Great.
bring good money,
So you
but
find
that's not something that you're going to
athletic
find
type of things because people are active and right. Yeah.
yeah, but you're not going to find that in Indianapolis.
No,
So
no.
you got to pick up what's in your area.
But absolutely. Yeah. So I have a couple things that you did talk about. You just kind of alluded to it.
Mhm.
You talked about your Thrifter challenge.
Yeah.
Why don't you get in that a little bit? I mean, guys, so once Chris is going to talk about a Thrifter challenge and
Yeah. I have had
something a little different. I know there's a lot of channels that do them, and Chris and I were talking about some of the channels that do it. But why
yeah.
don't you tell the people about your Thrifter challenges?
I have had the most fun meeting people in different places. So I did a thrift challenge for me is when we'll go to the bins and you have 1 hour and you collect one item and you get $10. So like if it's a heavier item like a vacuum or something, then they can still pick it up. But there's a cap on how much you can spend. And you at the end of that 1 hour, whoever has the item that has the most potential for profit is the winner. So it's something that you can measure and you can find the total based on the comps, what it's going to be. So I've had challenges with Sunny Las Vegas in Vegas, which was super fun. And I got to
That'd be
meet
fun.
Mikey Bags of Money there too. And then I did one with Dave from eBliss, who's here in Denver. Then I did one with Ginger Marvin in Colorado Springs, and that was super fun with both of them at Ginger Marvin collectively, Kathy and Chris. And then I just recorded one with Jimmy from Old School Flips, and he
Okay.
is here in the area also.
Okay.
And I've got one scheduled with Marcus at Dixon's Pickens, and I think that he's bringing
You
somebody.
said you're going to be in the St. Louis area, and he's
Yeah. So he's going to come on, and I think it's Good Game Grabs. And then I also did one remotely with Amanda, organizer reseller in the UK. So we did charity shop versus thrift store. So she would go to, like, they call them car boots, and we call them.
That's funny you just said that because I was going to say, do you know what a boot sale is?
Yeah. So she would go to the car boot, and I
Okay.
would go to like a flea market, and we
Right.
had a challenge of
So,
5.
so basically, guys, I mean, I know 9% of resellers in here are very experienced, but in the UK, they call like a flea market or like a regional flea market kind of thing. They call them boot sales because they sell out of the back of their
Yeah.
cars, and we would call them our trunk. They call
Yeah.
it the boot, their boot.
Yeah, so they call a garage sale a boot sale, a car boot also, which I think is crazy, but I learned
Craig
so
got in a
much.
little lady. He wants to know where the area. So you're in between Denver and what's the other city?
In between Denver and Boulder.
Denver and Boulder. Okay, in Colorado. Okay.
So
So again, there's opportunity for, like I said, and that's the other thing, guys. And again, sometimes again, I repeat things that are just common sense, but like I said, I'm trying to bring in more new sellers into the chat too as well. So something like you find like outdoor wear and maybe winter clothes or ski jackets, guys, list those because you got to remember too, and join the global shipping program with eBay because it might be summer here, but it might be winter somewhere else, and you can ship it through the global shipping program. So get that stuff listed.
and I have sold ski jackets all year long. I mean, sometimes if the weather
Swimwear,
is
right?
right,
Or like I almost said not Tommy Bahama as a brand, but those kind of shirts. I mean, because maybe people are going to cruise or going to vacation.
for sure, swimwear sells all year long. But
Yep.
I mean, if the weather's right here, they're skiing on 4th of July. So, I mean, you can't always find all the stuff that you need, and they want to have it ahead of time. So I list it. I don't hang on to stuff. I don't keep things for seasonal or Christmas or anything like that. If I've got it, I list it.
So how do you determine? I'm just out of curiosity how these things. Like I said, I've seen them on other reselling channels where the host of the channel, so to speak, is the judge. So you just go out there and you kind of like work it out. It's like, well, Sonny, no, my thing's worth more than yours. Here's the comps. Is that kind of how you work it out?
Yeah. So at the end of the hour, we decide which item that we think we want to, put as our best item. And then we search the comps and then we declare the winner. Sometimes it's nice to have like the chat say, hey, this item's cooler than that item, which is awesome. But I want to have a measurable.
That's kind of how you do it. And then typically you'll have that on your channel.
Yeah. So I'm a team player girl. I've always been on sports teams that, there's rules and there's a clear cut winner and a clear cut not winner. But in the bins, it's good because, we're both going home with an item that's going to make us some money. So, really, we all win. But we can show that somebody is going to earn possibly more money than the other.
Apparently, Tommy watches resellers in the UK as well. He says they call your garage sales jumbo sales. I think in his town and community, it's jumbo sale trail. Okay.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Yeah, I've seen him in some of the chats over there. That's pretty neat.
Okay. A couple other things. Guys, we're doing really well. Again, guys, I typically ask you guys if you have any questions, and I've been trying to pay attention to the chat. If you could just put a capital Q in front of your question and question marks after makes it easier for me to find. But if you have any questions for Kristin about a reselling business or about the bins, pop them in the chat. I'm sure Kristin will be very happy to answer those questions. But we have a few more things we wanted to talk about. And again, if you have any questions, just pop them in the chat. You would mention something I thought was really kind of interesting. And guys, this is something maybe you might want to get involved in. What is the reseller diaper challenge?
Okay. So when I'm at the bins, a lot of times I feel like there's just so many things that don't need to be in the bins, but I'll find packages of diapers and I pick them up and take them to like a women's shelter or a food pantry or something local that, a preschool or something that people need to. I want to get those things to people. And I feel like it's something small that as resellers we can do. We're already there. We're already picking things up. It's already a reasonable price. And I think if you can get those things to people that really need them, it just is something that we can do to be helpful and to give back a little bit. Right. So whenever I find a package of diapers, my Mr. Squirrel the other day, he's like, why do you have a picture of diapers on your Instagram? What is going on? I'm like, well, because I found a package of diapers. I'm putting it out there. # reseller diaper challenge. I want to get that out there to somebody that can use them or somebody that is struggling to be able to provide for their kid. Because I know I've had 4 kids. Diapers are expensive.
And and Randy and I talk offline quite a bit. And Randy was saying, Adam, because you have, and again, he sells a lot of things. He buys wholesale and coffees, teas, spices, candy. He says, Adam, because you have no idea how much my prices are going. My costs are going through the roof.
Yeah.
And again, the resellers or the companies have to pass that along. So diapers is another thing. The price is just, I don't know how people afford it.
Well, yeah, it's really hard. So if I can help somebody else just in a little way. And I think that when I had kids, if somebody gave me diapers, I was like, oh, thank you. I think that if I can pick up diapers at the bins that are not going to cost me $2. Yeah,
because you're paying by weight, and how much does a bag of diapers cost, right?
Right. Then I can get them to somebody that just really needs
them. If you pick up, guys, if she picks up 4 things of diapers, it's $8, $10. Maybe. And that goes so long. So it helps so many people.
It would really help somebody. And I don't think that anybody realizes how grateful somebody would be just for diapers. Yeah, you want to make sure that you feed them and, give them a place to, a shelter to be in, but to have the supplies and things that people don't always think to donate, diapers are really essential. You have to have them. So rather than send a package of brand new diapers or even partially open diapers where they've maybe only used 3 or 4, they would really be grateful for them. So that's my diaper challenge. If you're a reseller and you're out there and you're at Goodwill anywhere and you see some, pick them up get them to somebody that could use them. If you know somebody that's a social worker or a preschool or, the women's group at
It
your
can go a million places. Maybe you're active in your church or your synagogue or something, or like you
yeah.
said, a charity, and you just donate them, guys. I mean, I don't have a lot of money, but I can, if I find 2 packs of diapers and it's cost me $4, I could donate them.
Yeah, because a box of diapers is $40. And if I can pick them up for 3 or 4, then I think it would be better to get them to somebody that needs them than to let them go to the landfill.
Yeah, exactly. And I tell you guys, I always get sidetracked because of my ADD, but I was going to actually bring that up because if they don't get picked up at the bins, they're just going to go in the landfill.
Yeah, they recycle some things, but most of it goes to the landfill. So I just think we can do this. It's something small to us, but it's huge to somebody that needs them. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, grown-up ones too. I've seen those even more in the bins than I have baby diapers. And if it doesn't matter if it's big people or little people, donate what you can. Just it's so small that it can really make a big difference to somebody. So that's my reseller diaper challenge, and hashtag tag me in it. And just
Santa Claus is in the chat. Apparently, it looks like Santa Claus. So apparently, you're going to get something nice in your stocking. You're not going to get cold because he just heard about the reseller diaper challenge.
Well, that's awesome because I think he's great.
Mr. Squirrel looking out for the babies. There you go, guys. And I always tell you guys. I mean, and it takes time to do these things. And I was in sales. Like I told you, I come from a teaching background, so I'm little. I try to be somewhat organized, and I have pre-interviews and whatnot. And when Kristin shared that with me, I said, wow, that is just so great. And I always, and again, broken record Adam, the golden rule: do unto others, you would have to do unto yourself. I mean, that's such an easy way, especially if you're going to the bins. If you find them, guys, they're $2.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have bills to pay and things, but find 3-4 packets of diapers cost you $6. Donate them. They go so far.
Yeah.
So if you can, I mean, obviously, we all can't do that, but an opportunity, just consider it.
Well, I mean, I know
tag Kristin on your Instagram.
If it's going to take me, putting back one shirt to be able to buy the diapers, I'll buy the diapers and ditch
Santa Claus said he saw your IG post. He came right over.
Hey, good. It worked.
It worked. Question for you, and guys, again, any questions, pop them in the chat. Mr. Squirrel isn't involved in the reselling business, but my understanding is that you travel quite a bit. We talked about that, and you're thrifting or traveling. Eventually, sounds like you want to travel full time and run a reselling business. Tell us about your travel and thrift.
So we have a little camper that we pull behind the truck, and we go lots of different places and like to explore and see what all's out there. And if we can travel along the way, that would be super nice, and it would maybe help for things. That's my mother-in-law. Oh, she is always so super supportive, and I'm grateful for her. Anyway, we want to be able to go and see and do, and I think that what's nice about being a reseller is you can do this anywhere, and we can do it from the RV lot, or we can do it from home. So if I can pick things up along the way on our travels and just find things, then, resell them while we are enjoying life, then even better. What a bonus, right? So that's the plan, is to someday not have to go to the 9 to 5.
Well, I guess that's basically, I mean, I mentioned to you, Danny May, who's in a lot of the chats. I mean, that's what she pretty much does.
Yeah, that is just,
you say and again, just to share a little bit, I found that kind of fascinating. I guess I'm, easily whatever, impressed or whatever. But that diaper challenge, guys, I mean, I'm all about that. I'm all about that. That's important to me.
Good.
Anyway. But kind of cool how you run things. Like you said, you have propane, you have generators, you have solar. So you can kind of run your business from that trailer.
Right. We can be completely independent and do it, but we could also be just like out in the middle of nowhere, looking at a mountain or a lake or a beach somewhere, and still be making money. I mean, that's the goal, is to be able to do those things.
Pat's paying a compliment. Pat, I mentioned earlier in the show, I don't know if you were here earlier, I had Ty the Flippin' Hustler on, and when I saw Kristin on some of the channels, I just love her energy, love her positivity, love how she gives back to the community. I said, I got to have Kristin on my channel. So yeah, and I'm sure she smiles when she's out. If you saw in her video, she was actually playing like volleyball in the Goodwill outlet with a friend of hers, and some other not so strange guy they didn't know came over, and they were playing volleyball with him too.
Yeah, actually, this last week I was at the bins, and if I found a volleyball, I would just hang on to it and walk around with it. But this last week, I saw somebody that looked at me and had the volleyball, and so I like tossed it to him, thinking, "You gonna play? You want to play?" And then we played a little bit while we were in the bins.
Well, that breaks up the kind of monotony. Maybe you're waiting for him to change out the bins, right?
Yeah. And sometimes it's nice because, again, team player, I want everybody to win. And if everybody can get in there and have a little bit of fun for a second,
sure.
We want to get in there and grind and do our work and hustle hard, but it's nice to just chill and relax and be neighborly for a second. So we were playing volleyball for a second, and it was super fun. And the ball went sideways and somebody else popped in. It was fun.
My outlet, they were like, stop, don't do that.
Yeah, when I went with
you're in Colorado, you're not New Jersey, so it's like
when I went to the challenge with Chris and Kathy Ginger Marvin, I found a volleyball and I tossed it at him, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm terrible." I was like, "That's fun, come on." And he's like, "Can we just play basketball instead?"
There you go. Okay, why don't you talk to us a little bit about, I guess we were kind of sort of talking about the whole show about your YouTube channel. And guys, and I always list my guests, their social media. So Kristin wanted me to share her YouTube channel as well as her Instagram. And again, don't forget to tag her if you did a Diaper Reseller challenge. So why don't you tell the people in the chat about the channel, the people that don't know you, a little bit about your YouTube channel.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram and on YouTube as a rural squirrel. And I do a video on Wednesdays. I got one coming out in about 3 minutes. It's already scheduled. It's going to be out. And it's the one that I did the challenge with the girl from the UK, Amanda, as a reseller. So that's the process that I collected all the things. So on Wednesdays, I have one that comes out, and it's usually like a sourcing video or a challenge video. And then on Sundays, I do my shipping in the mornings. So everything that I shipped for the week, and I tell you how much I paid for it and where I got it, and you'll see how much I sold it for.
So it's kind of like a sold video, which helps other resellers. So if you're, and a lot of times, guys, you can kind of, and I tell people, and guys, that reminds you, do me that favor. I have a playlist. This channel used to be called Reselling Rhythms. I thought that was kind of catchy, but I kind of got away from it. So I have a playlist with all my different interviews with the various resellers. So again, you can kind of play this as a podcast. So what I'm alluding to is, if you're listening to Kristin's channel, maybe you're listing or you're packing, whatever, listen to her channel, and maybe she'll say, "Oh, I found this for such and such, and I sold it for this." It's like ding, 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 ding. Then you can stop redoing for a minute and watch the video, and kind of like a win-win. And again, guys, I need the watch hours. I told you guys before, I might as well do my little promotion in here. Guys, I'm not monetized, so again, there's time and money involved in running this channel. So if you are enjoying my channel and getting value from it, please consider helping me offset some of the costs. I would greatly appreciate it. Again, I have PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, Cash App, and Randy, who I've mentioned several times, is kind enough to offer me a little commission if you buy anything from his online store, where Randy sells coffee, spices, teas, and old-fashioned candy. You just put AE next to your name when you're registering the site. And again, it costs you guys nothing, and Randy helps pay me a little bit of commission.
Nice.
So
buy that guy a coffee.
Buy that guy coffee. Just pop in to say hello. Likes to see you. Is it Fish Chick Finds? That's a real squirrel's a mouthful. That's a real mouthful. Fish Chick Finds. Okay.
That's fun.
Thanks for stopping in.
I love the names that some people have. They are super creative.
Santa Claus says you were the world's fastest eBay shipper. Do you have kind of like a system in place that you do?
No, I put it on high speed, and I
that's right. You do. That's right. You speed it up when you do. That's right.
Yeah,
I thought maybe I said, okay, maybe we're gonna learn something about Kristin's shipping method. Maybe she's got a little.
Yeah, no, I just put it on. I put it on 8 times fast. So,
okay.
And sometimes that's not to my benefit, because I'm trying to tell you about it, and I have to talk really fast so that I can tell you exactly everything that happened. Yeah. When I first started doing that, and I was doing my edit, my Mr. Squirrel, he was like, every time that you ship something, you go, And I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, woohoo, got one out.
I know. I noticed that. Yeah. It's all right. Everyone has a little idiosyncrasies, the way to do things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. And a couple quick things. Again, just a reminder, make sure, check out Kristin's channel, Aurora Squirrel. Again, the link is in the description of the video below. And I always say to you guys, if you can, remember to hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're getting value, etc. And you leave a comment, that's even better because it helps, hopefully drive traffic to the channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say time is your most valuable asset. So I'd like to thank Kristin for her time, and also those of you here in the chat and the live and they're watching the replay. And again, I always said about leaving the thumbs up. So again, guys, just want to remind you too, if you want to watch another reselling live stream, Bobby, JT, and the Cap Guy is on Angie Resells right about now. So if you're interested, guys, you can pop over and check out their channel. Bob is a supporter of mine, and I like to support people to support me. Appreciate you guys. Remember, I'll be on next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Appreciate being here. See you then. Take care now.